don't think he has returned video on his boat, but Geraldo Rivera right now is joining us live from Fairport, New York. What are you doing on a boat today, Geraldo?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Abby. Hi, Ed. Hi, Steve. How are you doing? Welcome to the historic village of Fairport on the incredible Erie Canal. You know, I've sailed around the world. I've sailed 1,400 miles up the Amazon River. A big item on my bucket list has been to traverse the Erie Canal, this incredible, legendary public work, probably the most successful infrastructure project in the history of the country. What it did was link the whole of the Midwest through the Great Lakes, through the Niagara River near Buffalo, 360 miles to the Hudson River near Albany, the state capital, then down to New York City. What it did was it opened up the whole country, united the country. It used to take 2.5 weeks to bring produce or other products from the city of Cleveland, Ohio by oxen or horse-drawn carriage. They cut the travel time down by a third, reduced costs by more than a half. This is what made New York the Empire State. This is what made New York City the capital of the world. And to go through the Erie Canal, you know, we left, Steve, you've been in my home in Edgewater, New Jersey, in New York Harbor. We left there, Craig and I, on Monday afternoon, sailed up to the beginning of the Erie Canal, and thanks to the canal authorities and Jeff Grit-Savage, the man in charge of navigation, my old boat, Belle, 20 years old this year, and Craig and I traversed the Erie Canal. What is remarkable about the canal is that it has to raise boats coming from east to west almost 600 feet because the Lake Erie is 600 feet above sea level, and the locks that were designed, we went through, there were school children cheering, and then some of the best scenery in the United States, charming villages all throughout, and it's really been quite a thrill, Steve.
Unbelievable. Geraldo, we'd love to get your thoughts on some news of the day and a story I know that you are probably passionate about. The media yesterday caught pushing a false narrative. This is about a roundtable that took place a couple of days ago in the White House where the president had mayors and law enforcement from California talking about sanctuary cities and immigration laws. And the transcript comes out and they jumped the gun and said that he referred to illegal immigrants as animals. Come to find he was talking about MS-13 gang members, a very big difference. They jumped the gun. Does that surprise you?
You know what happened, Abby? Let me just quickly tell you what I went through in my own mind. When I first, you know, we're on the boat, we're not watching television news or anything, but I was looking at my Twitter feed and I saw that President Trump had called Latino immigrants savages. And I said, what the hell? I've been defending the president, my friend, the president, since 2015 against charges of racism. And that really hurt my feelings. It really cut me to the quick when I heard that. Then I saw some of the writing that, some of the tweeting that Don Jr. did. Wait a second, this was in the context, as you said, Abby, of the MS-13, these vicious gangbangers who decapitate people, who carve them up. This was not about immigrants generally. And then, you know, I spoke to Sean Hannity about it, and, you know, we really, real heart to heart, and then I read the full context of the remarks. There is no doubt whatsoever that the President of the United States was specifically referring to one of the most ruthless and violent criminal organizations in the country, MS-13, this Salvadoran-based gang that is a national criminal syndicate now. So, although I still caution against using words like savages and animals, I should have said, the president was saying, and thugs, I think that when these things have a possible racial connotation, we should probably stay away from the hot button words. But having said that, there is no doubt that Right, I'm sorry. I was just going to say there's no doubt the president was not talking about immigrants generally. He was talking about people who deserve that moniker, if anyone.
I was just going to say, to your point, why not then just read the full transcript to make sure what you're reporting is actually accurate? What is going on? Why is the media so quick to jump? You look at the presidents in the past and the way they've been covered, it seems like they are a lot quicker to jump on President Trump than they are on presidents before this.
There is no doubt but that this president, maybe with the possible exception of Richard Nixon or Andrew Johnson in the 19th century, but this president gets the worst press of any public official I have ever known. Everything he says, and this is a classic example, Abby, everything he says is construed in the most evil way possible. But what I say is even Donald Trump deserves fairness from you people. And it is divisive for the country to misconstrue his remarks intentionally, because any person with half a brain reading the full paragraph rather than the inflammatory sentence that everybody broadcasts can see what he was trying to convey, the message he was trying to convey. He was speaking specifically of people who have no right to be in this country. Moreover, once they're here, they are doing the worst possible things possible. That they do not reflect, I maintain, and I'll go to my grave saying this, they do not reflect the immigrant community generally. But there's no doubt that these are very, very bad actors, and the president was right to call them out and to announce his priority to purge MS-13 from the United States. Back to you guys.
That's right. And we did a story, I think, a week or two ago from the MRC. They've looked at the president's coverage in the last number of months. 91% of it has been negative, and yet, Geraldo, real quickly, his poll numbers are going up.
You know why, Steve? It's because specifically what you've been talking about. I think that people are beginning to make their own judgments. They're going around the messenger to the actual news. They're going around the messenger to exactly what the president is accomplishing. Yeah. And if you divorce yourself from the rhetoric and the shrill language, he is really having a successful presidency. And you know, I wanted to avoid these kinds of controversies because they're just a distraction.
All right, Geraldo, bon voyage.
Good luck, Geraldo.
Thank you.